YouTube's free.
I was going to say, plethora of videos
I learned
now.
off YouTube.
Yeah.
I learned West Coast Swing off YouTube. That's
And that
how
was
I
like
started.
30 years ago.
That was so long ago. We didn't have computers were like the size of a house. Like that's how long ago it was. The computer was.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of MackZaddy Mike Magic.
I'm Mackenzie.
I am Zach.
And I'm Maddie.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
MackZaddy!
So aggressive.
So aggressive. What are we talking about today, guys?
What were we talking about today, guys?
Newbie dances in the sea.
That's it.
Dances in the sea.
New dancers in the scene. We were all there. Well, if you are currently a part of it, or if you are currently a dancer, you've been a newbie or are a newbie.
Yeah.
So we kind of just wanted to chat about that.
Yeah.
Especially as well because for us, we currently have a lot of newbies in our
Yes.
class. We have
It is so good
some
to see.
record-breaking numbers, which
We
is
had
pretty
like
awesome.
41 or something new people join us on the first night back.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And I think
Plus
we
our
had
own
more.
people, so it was very cool.
Yeah, we had more people join after that too.
What did we get to? What was the?
I think
because
our
we broke
max
record.
night was 111.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
That is
Obviously,
so
not all
cool.
these new people will stay.
Yes, they will.
All
Still
of them,
the
every
attitude.
single
We
one.
are
Every
definitely
single
trying
one.
our hardest to encourage as many
Because
people.
they love West Coast Swing so much.
But yeah, it's really cool. I think as a beginner, like we have to kind of remember to go back to when we first started,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So
Oh, yeah.
for us, like collectively, that's a couple of decades.
Collectively, oh my god.
Collectively, that's a couple
That's
of
a few
decades.
decades collectively.
Yeah.
A few decades. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're coming
That's
on to your 10th year this year, aren't you?
I
Or
will
next
be.
year?
Yeah, a couple months. I'll be
Oh, couple months,
10
yeah.
years.
We're
10
having
years.
a party.
Celebrate.
We should, right?
Party.
A party.
Celebrate.
It's in June, so maybe
that's
on like the
awkward.
22nd. Are you
Oh
guys
my
free?
God.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Not.
22nd. Well, I'm having my 10-year anniversary of
Does that
starting
mean
West
you're
Coast Swing.
missing our wedding to have your 10-year anniversary by yourself?
We're all missing your wedding.
Oh,
We're all
right,
missing.
Actually, we're paying for his celebration.
Actually,
That's
sorry,
fancy.
you guys I'll use the space. Everyone's already there.
This
Might
is
as
why he's
well.
like your best man,
Yeah.
because he's just using us.
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
We digress.
We digress on
Anyway.
that. Newbies.
So,
Newbies.
what's something that you guys remember from when you were first joining? Like, what was the scariest thing for you guys when you first joined?
The counts.
The counts?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, like counting 1,
Well,
2,
I
3, and
was-
4, 5, and 6.
No, I just remember when I started, like, having to remember, like, my right foot is on 1, my left foot is 2, blah, blah, blah. Like, having, and then counting through, and, you know, you do your triple step, you step back on 4. And
Yep.
yes, I think for a long time, like, it was counts.
Yes,
For me.
I was.
Because I'd never counted before.
I was
Yeah.
definitely the same in the sense of like I counted for a long time because it was crossing over from another dance style where the counts were different.
Or you just go boom, boom, pa, ha, cha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
or
didn't
noises.
count. Yeah.
Yeah,
Noises.
it's noises instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely something that took me. Like I definitely did for a long time.
Yeah.
Counting and trying to remember which foot or step, triple step, like how you counted as well. But even like after that, like even before getting in the door, like I didn't want to screw with my mind if I knew another dance style. Because for me, coming from other dance styles, I was like, I don't want to confuse myself yet. So I waited for a while until I went into this dance style, and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then that was something that scared me. If that made sense.
You didn't dance before that, Ken, so what was yours?
I didn't dance before that. I had a very musical background and do come from like a family of dancers and musicians. So I think the scariest thing for me, and you'll hear more about this when like within my interview, the scariest part of me was just like being there and dancing. Not so much the counts. Like I found actually learning it quite easy. I think I picked it up very quick, very easily. I wasn't struggling so much with that, but it was like the confidence of just doing it
And being there.
and then being there. And then on top of that, I was also so young. So
Yeah.
everyone was so much older than me. It was just a daunting place. And I was, kind
And
of...
just being
did
a
you
male in the dance scene as well is hard. in itself.
Yeah.
Did you know anyone before your mum brought you along?
No, I was coming, literally, so mum was bringing me along because I was just so young and she couldn't leave me
Couldn't leave
at
you
home.
at home and she
Couldn't leave me
wanted to
at
go.
home.
Gotcha.
Couldn't leave me at home.
That's
so
amazing.
I was at class for a
Yeah.
little while before I actually started. I would come like after school, I'd be in my school uniform and I'd be like sitting on the couch playing on my
God, I
iPad
don't
or
even
something.
remember this.
Literally ages.
That's
And then
amazing.
I think one of the nights, Alan pulled me
Yeah.
aside. I like stopped the class and he was just like, "Do you want to join the class?" And I was like,
No.
"No." And he was like, "Too bad." And then the rest was history. But so daunting.
Well, I'm glad you joined then.
Very, very
That's good.
scary
We're
space.
very lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job,
so
Leilani.
lucky.
So lucky.
You guys are
Good
so
job, Leilani.
lucky.
Such a gift.
So
Yeah.
lucky. It is kind of just like a gift to have me.
Oh.
Anyway, I digress.
Now his head's huge. Okay,
yeah.
so we all had like this a different story coming in. Ours is a little bit similar with like backgrounds in our dance style beforehand, but and the counting and stuff, like that's something that we were focusing on. Did you have something you focused on when you came in, like other than like when you first started learning, like something that you focused on that?
It's really hard because I think in some ways, I think back to it, I think I halted a lot of my learning with a lack of confidence. Like
Yeah.
I think especially, and also I did privates with you when I had first started. I
Yeah.
did that for about a year, maybe like a year.
But
into-
even then, it was probably like a year or two after you first started.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't straight away.
It wasn't
Probably
straight
even-
away.
Probably
Yeah.
even longer. I don't even know.
I think it was about a year in because
Okay.
by the time I stopped, I think it was like 13.
Okay.
Or like 14, 13.
Yeah,
Would
right.
have been. Oh, it's so long ago
Yeah.
now, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think
Sold.
halted my own learning with a lack of confidence, or like I could hear things in the music, or I could feel, or I had ideas, or there was things I think I wanted to do,
Yeah.
like that could have really helped progressing my dancing or like
Gotcha.
accelerating my
Just
learning.
trying it.
But I was just too scared to try anything other than like the basics that I knew to do. And I
Yeah.
did that for ages.
Yeah.
I just stuck to the basics, and then I remember when I started feeling comfortable enough to just do the basics, which took me like a year. I then started like kind of branching out from that.
Yeah.
And I think
you
I could
feel
have started
so
that.
weird. You're like, I'm going to do something different. Please don't judge me. Don't think I look retarded.
Right
Yeah,
there,
and
I just want to
work.
look
Literally, and then on top of that, and it was like I was branching out with like the same people. I'd pick one person that
Yeah,
I would
right.
try something
Yeah.
new, and then the worst part about trying new things is when I would do it, people would notice it because I've never done it before. So I was like trying something new, stepping outside of my comfort zone, and they'd be like, "Oh, that was cool," and I'd be like, "No, you weren't meant to see it.
That was supposed to be real
Oh,
natural.
you weren't meant to look. You weren't meant to.
Secret.
It was a secret. Shh."
But no, that's good. You got to go through that phase of like
Yeah.
trying new things eventually and like stepping outside your box. And it's good that when people see that happen, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, and people cheer and go, "Oh, that's cool. Like, good on you for trying that."
Yeah.
Opposed to being like, "Oh, that was a bit interesting, wasn't
Yeah.
it?"
I was the opposite. I like flew out of that box.
Nice.
I flew out of there.
Yep.
I was just excited. So I had to then come back and do the basics.
Nice.
Because
Do you think
I
that's because you're a
did so
follower
much.
too?
No. I think it's just because I was a dancer already. Like I already had like a style of my own that I wanted to put into West Coast, as opposed to the other way around. So it was like once I kind of got the count thing, even through that, I was kind of pushing in styling early.
Right.
It's like when you like when we started teaching. Like if you're a natural dancer, sometimes you have to learn how to teach.
Oh yeah.
Some people it's the other way around. You are not a natural dancer and you're a good teacher, but you have to learn how to dance. So it can go either way. But for me, it was having backwards. So I had all of this and I didn't know what I was doing or how I was doing it. So I had to go back and learn how to teach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the same progress for me. Like but in not so much styling, but like moves and pattern selection. I definitely had more patterns than basics.
Yeah.
So I definitely had like
As a leader,
experimental
kind of drive,
that way, but
Yeah.
I didn't really have my own style in the sense of like I tried to do things for myself in the lead. I definitely just stuck to like leading certain things that were different, opposed to doing things within my body that was different to other people.
I think that's like a big part of it because I love seeing that, especially with new people. Like, and I have a few people that like I think come to mind of people that like are so new, but they just have all the confidence of it already, and they're just going for it. And it's so nice to see, even if it's bad. Like even
Yeah,
if
it's
it
just
doesn't
a
go
vibe.
good, it doesn't go well. It's
You
like
can sell.
technically incorrect. It looks like they're having the most fun,
Yeah.
and you can already see that they're going to progress
Yes,
in
the
some way
potential,
because they already have the confidence to try things.
Yes.
Which is really, really, really awesome to see. But
You can see the potential in them. Like,
some people
already.
just have, I think, innate confidence.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that. Or
That
at least
can
I
also
don't-
come
yeah.
with like knowing people in the scene, like knowing, like being comfortable with people in the scene already. So like,
Yeah.
I think we were both lucky. We knew a lot of people in the scene
it
already,
is true.
so like we had that confidence of like, we're not going to be judged already, and if we were, it was going to be supportive, like judging. But yeah, that was lucky for us, and I think even like finding your friends, like we talked about in one of the previous podcasts, like finding your friends in that are supportive, or like even if it's your first night, going with a group of friends to support each other through it, would be pretty helpful. Like that, I see a couple of people coming in from the salsa scene at the moment, and they're like all together, and they're like got a dance background already, so you can tell they're awesome. Like it feels good, and they come with each other, and they're supporting each other obviously through it, which is really cool to see. It's actually really they're great dancers, followers and stuff. So, and we have a lot of people from One Jive as well at the moment, and they just got skills already. Like they got some talent, right? So they're not afraid to try things, and they know each other as well, so they're helping and support each other, like through transitioning to learn this one and learn this one, and then not forgetting both.
Yeah,
which is cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone starting fresh, what would you give?
Oh, one piece of advice, like
Just one piece. One key thing, you got to choose one.
Just starting, like, have they done their first class?
Yeah, so they're basically just starting out. They've done maybe a few classes. And they're starting to get their, like, an understanding of what it is.
Okay, so I think there's definitely people out there that learn dance and feel like they don't get it straight away. And there's people out there that learn dance and get it pretty quick.
They'd be your natural dancers versus your non-natural dancers.
Correct, yeah. So, but I feel like we can push through that even if you're not a natural dancer. So I think it would just be don't give up. Like there is something to like sticking with it and pushing yourself through that uncomfortable phase of not knowing stuff and feeling awkward in your own body. Because I still feel, I look for the awkwardness moments now. Like I want to experiment in something that I'm not comfortable with so that I can learn that and become better at it. Whereas if I didn't do it because it was uncomfortable, I would never have that. Now, does that transfer into other life parts? Like I'm not necessarily going to go learn how to do maths. For those of you who know me, I didn't finish school.
Fun.
Like
Isn't
that's
a fun thing?
I guess it also comes into like, are you interested in learning dance, or like, do you find it fun? So like having that, I would also say like, if you're having fun, it's a lot easier to do that and push through. But like, you don't want to stress yourself out. So like, I don't have fun doing maths, so I got a calculator in my phone. That's very easy. I can ask Siri. I can do that. Do you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. Or if for the Google users, which is me as well, you ask Google, right? So, it's just different. That would be sort of my advice. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Like that. Hey, you like cool shit? You like listening to fun people? I know you do. If you're liking or enjoying watching and listening to MackZaddy, then make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure to smash that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Love ya. Bye. Yeah, I would say don't compare yourself to the people that have already experienced the dance. This is a thing I hear so much from so many of our students. Like I'll get people being like, oh, I can't do what you're doing. I can't do that fancy footwork stuff you're doing. Or you glide across the floor. I could never do that. Of course not. You just started. I've been doing this for 10 years. Like obviously you can't do that. And it's like, not only like, is it like they're comparing themselves to me like internally, but they're also like verbalizing it as well to me. And it's like, I know, like, don't compare yourself to me. That's not a fair comparison. And also just try not to compare yourself. Again, easier said than done. But like, I think a lot of that comes down to like, don't compare yourself to people that are experienced or have years on you in terms of experience.
I guess use that to push yourself though.
Yeah.
Like, don't use it to bring yourself down. Use that to push
Set it as a goal.
and kind of learn what that is.
Use it as motivation, but don't like get yourself down on because of it.
How about you, Maddie?
I would just say push through. So
You're stealing mine.
no, I'm not. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
So, God.
Oh, well, let's see.
Get married to someone, they think you're the same person.
Although, to be honest, I stole yours for like
I was gonna say.
I was waiting for it. I'm like,
Yeah, far out.
No, I think so. West Coast swing is not an easy style. I think it is one of the hardest partner styles of dancing. One of. There are many.
One of. Subjective.
It is. That's why I say one of, because there's lots of different aspects to it. It's a very technical dance. There's lots of components to it, and because it relies so much on connection, connection is another thing in itself to try and get your head around to begin with. And I think the best and worst thing about West Coast is no one looks the same. Like you have so much freedom in the dance. Once you know the rules, you can learn how to break them constructively and then have freedom in your own dance. And there's more creativity you can put in, I think, as a follower especially, than a lot of other styles. So you want to kind of like push through, get your head around the basics and, you know, the technicalities of it all. You'll learn more. That's the best thing about it. Like you never stop learning, which is cool. We've been doing it for nearly 20 years and I'm still learning every single day, which is awesome. But once you kind of have an understanding, you can then start to actually make it your own. And that's the fun part. So you want to like just push until you get to that, you know, little happy center there. Yeah. It takes time.
So yeah, like it's a challenge. There's a challenge. There's lots of different challenges, like just between the three of us now. Like you were saying, don't compare yourself to other dancers. I was saying stick with it. Go through the uncomfortable phases. You're saying like find like
push through till you find the happy place.
Yeah. It's very I agree with like it's a difficult dance in the sense of like there's no set rules, so it's not like
there are and there aren't.
There are set rules, but in the sense of there is so much freedom and every dancer looks different for their own reasons. So like finding your own style. There's a whole debate about like is that West Coast swing or not, like. And if you have that confidence and you stick with it, that style of West Coast swing, if you stuck with it for long enough and taught enough people and like had enough followers and all that sort of stuff, that eventually you confidently sold it to people being like, this is, and like they liked it, it's going to become a new brand like of West Coast swing, surely.
The other tricky thing is like when you're new and you start doing West Coast and you start talking to people about, I'm doing this new dance style. And they're like, what kind of dancing are you doing? West Coast swing. They're like, cool, the puffy skirts and the swinging backwards and forwards.
Yeah, swinging around.
It's so hard to describe. Like you can't even put it into words.
Because the music, we don't have a specific music. We have
a style. It's very. I always just like just Google it. Just
literally,
YouTube
I'm
it.
like modern partner style dance. No, like absolutely, it's hard to describe West Coast, but it's so cool, so versatile.
Ask ChatGPT.
Yeah,
it's a great example. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But no, it means something different to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing. It's like every country has their own language, and every state might have their own language. Like Europe, America, Japan. I'm not going to list every country.
There's love stories through the West Coast swing world where people married someone from another country, didn't speak the same language, but they did though.
Oh yeah.
They did speak the same language.
They did.
Yep.
It's called West Coast swing.
I love it.
God, West Coast swing is the language. I was like, wait, they didn't, but they did.
Whoa.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, gotcha.
No, how does that work?
I got you.
The other thing I did like that was springing to mind, especially if you're a newbie or if you are a regular at any type of dance school, engage in your local dance classes and practice the things you're learning.
Yes.
One of the
just
biggest.
Go home, forget it, come back and expect to be cool.
Yes.
The same
Love
way.
it. It's so good to see, like, because I feel this a lot. We have like a couple people that I can bring to mind that I can see that are like doing our classes and then going out into like our social dancing afterwards and practicing these things. It's like, great, awesome. These are like why we're doing these classes. They're giving me more stuff. And then there's other people I see that don't. They like they do the classes
Like,
and
that was
then
great,
and
but
then
I'm
they're
still
like,
gonna
that was a
Don't
fun
even get
hour.
me started. Don't even get me started. This is a great point though.
But that's
Like-
literally it. You're like paying to do the class. You should be engaging in it. I don't mean like engaging as in asking questions, but like trying to pay attention,
Be
trying
there.
to be within it, like
Be present,
retaining
take
any
it on.
information.
You know what?
That you
This
can.
is like for us. We live, breathe, and eat this shit, right? That sounds
That
terrible.
sounds
Nom, nom,
terrible.
nom,
nom,
Can
nom,
you reword that
No. We like live and die by this stuff kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll pass out on the dance floor one day. You never know.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had someone nearly do it recently. You know? So, like,
They'll
Full
actually
commitment.
pass out. For just for a second, but they're fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
They're good, yeah.
Anyway, if you were there, you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
With that whole thing, like we immersed ourselves into it like it's a lifestyle. Immersed ourselves in it.
Burst ourselves into it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's a new thing, I think.
So another attention thing that I would not put into, another thing I would not put my attention into is English.
You speak such good
I
English,
speak good
babe.
English. It's a good thing I can speak language. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a good thing I can speak West Coast swing. That's what I meant.
That's the one language you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
my
numbers,
goodness.
math.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But no, I'm so with that. Like, go to your classes, learn the patterns, practice them, come back to the next class, do it in social dancing, practice it with multiple people at social dancing. Don't be afraid to ask people that are higher up for social dancers to practice with.
Please.
We are here for you guys, not just to teach you and say, see you later.
Bye. Thanks for
Like,
your money. Bye.
Come along, practice, get to know us, dance with us, then do it again the next week or the next class, or do it at multiple classes. If your place has multiple classes and you can't get enough, if you do a whole week worth of classes, you are going to get better than someone that does one class a week.
Yep.
It's just like, surely. No matter how much you struggle at the start, if you go and you like expand it over a longer time period, let's say a year, you were really uncomfortable at the start and you do once a week for the whole year, or you do a week every week, like 3 days a week, it's going to compound and you're going to be a lot more comfortable and confident at the end.
I think community's got a big lot to do with it as well. Like, you know, like immerse. Like, I know for our community, we have actual social things we do as well as classes. So we kind of give a space for people to actually get to know everyone that's in our classes weekly, which is cool. So I think if you can, if that's an opportunity that you have where you're learning, jump on board with that, get to know the people, because they're your support crew. So they're all there and they have the same interests as you. They want to improve and do well too. So the more support you have around you, the more you're
Now
gonna
it's all good saying like go do a whole year's worth of West Coast swing. Not everyone has money, right? So yes,
Or
that's
time.
they're all time. Like people got lives. So if you can't do that, that's cool. Let's say money's an issue. Go and like you said, build those relationships with people that are like doing it for their lifestyle basically, and just absorb everything. Like pay attention, like you said, be there with that, and absorb as much as you can. Surround yourself around the people that are doing it.
YouTube's free.
I was going to
YouTube.
say, plethora of videos
I learned
now.
off YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned West Coast Swing off YouTube. That's
And that
how
was
I
like
started.
30 years ago.
That was so smart. we didn't have computers were like the size of a house. Like that's how long ago it was. The computer was as big as this table.
The monitor thing.
Yeah.
No, that's it. And especially now, like you look up West Coast on YouTube, and not even like for like social or like comps or like performances, literally just like people teaching. There's so much stuff.
So
there.
many.
So much stuff from so much different people. And it's
Not
like
that I would necessarily recommend all of them.
Yeah, be cautious. But I mean, I think it's like if you're looking for maybe, you know, some inspo or if you've learned something in class and you want to kind of look out for people doing it, looking at some clips of like a lot of the common pros, you know, just seeing how they manipulate the stuff you already learned to just, you know,
Actually, that was when I was a beginner. I was, again, YouTube would consume my life.
Oh,
After
the
school,
rabbit hole.
after school, I was supposed to be doing
rabbit hole.
like
There's just so many good dancers out there.
the reason I didn't do well at maths and English is because I was watching YouTube.
yeah. The reason I failed school was because of West Coast Swing.
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
So I literally, I watched hours of this stuff, and it was just motivating. And then I would go try it something if I could. But I think even like as far as like learning, go do private lessons. If you can't like make every class, go do private lessons. I feel like private lessons are a great way to learn like specific stuff for you.
This might not, and again, might not be for everyone. In my mind, private lessons are really going to be the thing that's going to boost your dancing the most.
Especially if you're a quick learner.
Especially if you're a quick learner, and more specifically, like if you can, and obviously this isn't like always affordable for everyone, but like as consistently as possible, or some sort of like consistency within those privates, you're gonna see improvement in your dancing.
Yeah. Whether that be like once a week, once a fortnight, once a month, once every 3 months, like whatever it is, like you make that commitment to like doing it.
Yeah.
And then don't let yourself get hooked up on like one thing you just can't move past, and just you go to class every week and you just keep getting stuck on this one thing. Get a private, figure it out, and then just push through and keep progressing forward.
Even if it's a half an hour private, like it doesn't have to be a full hour. Sometimes we do 2 hours. Like we have sometimes like routine, like so many different things. But like, sorry, you were saying stuff along the way. Did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
Oh yeah. Private's a big thing. Like, and I would recommend doing privates with multiple different people. Like, you're learning from one person, you're going to get that style, and you're probably going to like nail that styling eventually. Especially if you're a quick learner and you are a visual learner and you can just watch them and then like learn that way. You're definitely going to pick that style up from that person, but you also need to experiment with other things.
I would say, in my mind, and it depends on like the teachers you're going to. If you are getting like multiple privates from multiple different people, depending on how largely differently they're teaching you, I would recommend, because I do agree, you should be trying to learn from as many different people, because you're going to learn different things from different people that can help you in different ways with different things.
But you also need to assess whether that suited you or not.
Exactly.
Like like the way that you teach or we teach is pretty similar. We've been around with each other quite a long time, so. We have our nuances and like separate styles and certain things, but like
I get that sometimes. I'll have privates with people that we've all done privates with, and it's like, oh, this is what I would give you in regards to feedback, and they're like, oh, that's what Zach and Maddie said. It's like, well, sorry, let me find something else.
But how we would describe and work on that with them might be different.
For sure.
Great.
So that's what I mean. Like you got to go to a person and be like, hey, do I need to learn from this person because I really get how this person gives information or something. And you'll know after one private or 1.5 hour, whatever, you'll be like, okay, I don't really need to do another lesson with that person because I didn't really feel like we connected and vibed on that level. And everyone's going to be different.
Totally fine. You don't want to like push through for the sake of the teacher. The teacher's like fine. They're fine. They'll be
There's
alright.
enough dancers in the world.
At least, and I guess I speak for us. I can't imagine. Well, I'm sure there are people in the world that maybe might not be like that. But like in my mindset as like a teacher, I want to see people improve. Or like my goal is I want to see the progression.
And if you're not the best for that person, that's okay. Like if that's not your style, that's fine. Just they seek out who they mesh well with, and we just want them to.
That's cool.
Well.
Yeah, if you need to go with someone else, that's absolutely fine. I think though that
don't
like
badmouth anyone. That's bad.
There's definitely
It's in the name.
Bad
Mouth.
mouth.
like when you I think something to look out for actually as someone taking privates from someone like a professional that is teaching you privates would be something like never do it like this or don't do it like this in like absolutes because
unless it's something that's literally going to cause injury. Course.
Yeah, there's some certain stuff, but I think like you just gotta be careful because there is so many different ways to do things that, like for me anyway, I understand like if someone says don't do it like this, and then they explain why, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Cool. And then there's certain reasons. As long as you can understand why, I think for me, everyone learns differently.
That's the biggest thing, understanding of what it is you're learning, I guess, or at least.
I think, like, I know at Real Connection we're very good about, well, I like to think we are, the three of us are like, we're very good at saying, and this isn't like, I'm not saying this is the only way to do this thing, I'm just saying this is how I prefer it.
This is how we're teaching it this time.
We're teaching it tonight,
Yeah, this is how we're doing it tonight, or whenever. I like that. The privates one is good. Is there any other things that, like, you would do to progress from that beginning phase? Like, and again, some people might not feel like they're right into it at the beginning phase. So that's hard to feel like. And I guess once you get past that level, as soon as you get into that private side section and start pushing yourself and trying to feel that right person that clicks with you and all that sort of stuff, I feel like there's a high possibility of you're going to be doing an event or you're going to be socializing with other, like a bigger group of people outside of just your community.
Yeah.
So then you start creating relationships with other dance schools and stuff like that, and teachers and everything.
The other thing I'd say would be, and I say leaders because I feel this is a more common thing. So advice for leaders would be feeling the pressure of having to, like, so if a leader wanted to ask me to dance, they might be too scared to because they're worried that they don't have enough content to dance with me.
It happens as
and
a follower.
moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, from a follower perspective, I feel like leaders have this issue, you know, with me and other followers that might be
And you
above
hear
their
this
level.
leaders being like, sorry, I don't know anything else.
Yeah, I've
Or
only
like-
got these three moves
These three moves.
tonight.
I can't like express enough how much more I would prefer a smooth, on time, vanilla dance than I would with someone that's throwing everything at me. It's pulling my arm out. It's messing with my frame.
Off time.
It's off time. I would choose the vanilla dance that just feels nice
Yes.
and smooth any day.
And
Even
then
if it's
also,
just hitting
yeah.
2 or 3 moves over and over
And like
again.
on
That's
top of that, especially like when I follow and I'm following leads that don't have like that many different patterns that they can whip out, if they can lead them just like on time and
Yeah.
clean enough,
You
I
can
love
play
it
with
because
that.
I can do so much
Yeah,
within that. I have
exactly.
such fun dances because I don't have to worry about anything like crazy going on. I'm just like, oh, these are like really nice moves, and I can still enjoy the dance.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like the other side, and it's so hard because like when you're the one repeating the moves, it's like shit.
You
This is
feel
like
bad or whatever.
the fourth time I've
Yeah.
done this. Fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. And
Yeah.
then like we're on the other end being like, oh, this is nice.
This is
This
yeah,
is
you know,
I
nice.
can just kind of do my own thing.
Yeah.
practice
Ooh,
this.
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is too, like if you are doing a push break the same way every time, it's a partner dance. So there's another person on the end that can change how they do it, and it looks different completely visually. It might not feel different, but it looks different. So like I think as well, as a leader, experiencing followers do crazy stuff on the end of basic, and I'm like, do I change? Do I like stop, or do I keep going, or do I not? That is something that will happen eventually, and you'll be like, do I just keep leading, or do I like change the pattern or something? If you only know those 3 patterns, just keep doing the 3
That's okay.
patterns.
Just keep
That's
doing
fine.
them.
Yeah.
If you
Get
if
really
you know
good at those
Yeah.
3
Oh,
patterns.
if you know
so
how to
good.
extend the pattern and just walk 2 steps on the spot, whatever you need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Push it.
Shit real
God.
good.
And then, yeah, the only other thing I did think about was feel free to ask your teachers questions or like to give you feedback. If you can't afford privates, if someone comes up to me and asks me a question, obviously I'm not going to spend that long on
Yeah.
like giving them feedback. But if they like ask me like a simple question or something that they
Yes.
want help with, I'm so happy to
You're
like
not
give
giving
you
a full
advice.
private,
I'm not giving you a
but it's-
private in like 5 minutes, even less than
Yes.
that probably, depending on what the situation is. But don't feel afraid to ask. The worst thing that's going to happen is
they
they're going to
say
say no.
Yeah. But then you don't. Then you're in the same position as when you didn't ask anyway.
Exactly. You've
So,
got
like,
just
you
as
got
much
nothing to lose.
information. So you've not made a loss.
That's it. It's the same with asking people to dance.
Yeah.
Don't stand there awkwardly and hoping you get asked to dance, and then you don't get
Complain
one.
about the fact that you don't get asked to dance
Yeah.
when you're not actually asking people to dance yourself.
Yeah.
That drives my
Yeah,
gears.
that's
Oh.
it. You've
You-
got to
you
you've
need
got
to put yourself out there.
You've
Yeah.
got in it,
Yeah.
like to
You have
engage
to
in
get out
yourself.
there.
You have to
Just
like
push through.
as like a community, sometimes you get into places where everyone's really welcoming, really like
Yes.
great. Everyone's like there.
Even if you don't,
Yeah, rock connection.
even if you don't, you still need to put yourself out there
Yeah.
that you could, like the worst case scenario is you don't get any dances with those people that you wanted to. And guess what? If you didn't ask, you wouldn't have got them anyway. So it's a muscle, yes, that you need to train to be okay with rejection, I guess. To like, you know what? That's fine. I'll go dance with someone that does want to dance with me.
Yeah.
Your loss. Be like, screw you. Watch me in a year's time from now, you'll be asking me for a dance, kind of thing.
What? They're gonna be like, sorry, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
They're like, screw you.
Yes.
I didn't want to dance with you anyway.
Bye.
Bye. I'm
Love
gonna
it.
go dance with someone else that
Yeah.
as an empty bladder.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just to note though, like if you're a person that's new to class and you're getting unsolicited feedback, please feel free though to say, hey, thanks for that, but I'm already working on such and
Yes.
such with this person. I don't really want to have
Yes.
feedback right now.
If you're getting overwhelmed from
Yeah.
like all the stuff that people are teaching you in class,
I'm sure they come from a good place,
Yeah.
but sometimes people don't want it.
unless you asked for it, you're absolutely allowed to say, sorry, I'm just focusing on everything the teachers are saying at the moment.
Yeah.
Is there another way that you would say it? What did you say? You said, I'm just...
Oh, so if it was just another member of the class giving me feedback that obviously been there a bit longer, it's not wanted. I'd say, oh, thanks for that. I'm just working on some other things in private lessons or in
Yeah.
class on this topic. I won't take that on board right now, but I appreciate your feedback.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just absolutely.
Nice. I'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
I love
I
it.
would never say
I
that.
also, you also just need to be careful about giving other people feedback without them
Yeah,
asking,
please don't.
because there's been a couple of times
We've had to
that
at least,
I've been given feedback on the dance floor, and then you go up and teach the class the next hour,
Ooh,
or
nice.
you're about to do a demo.
It's a bit of a power play, actually.
So
Yeah.
it's a bit funny because you're telling me how to do something, or you've gotten up at me about being dancing in a certain area,
and then they see you teaching the class the next day.
and I see an energy shift in the mood, being like,
This is awful.
well, I'm gonna just ask a lot of questions to pretend I'm really interested,
Yeah.
which you might be or might not be.
Or you might
That's-
just go completely silent.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but it was an awkward moment for me.
Yes.
But I had a little bit of fun with it.
Nice. Yeah, there's like a bit of a
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I think I was taught to just not say anything. I'm not gonna be like, hey, shut up.
No, yeah, when I said fuck you, I didn't actually mean that. I
Yeah,
would,
I know you didn't.
I probably wouldn't say that.
Probably wouldn't.
Probably not.
Probably
Oh,
not.
really? It depends on what the
probably.
advice was.
So do we have anything specific for beginners? I think we could do another episode of this. I'd love to do another episode where we talk about progression, continuing
Like
on.
constructive progression.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
stages of what you should do.
100%.
For sure.
There's
Because
like,
there's a lot of things
There's a
that
lot to cover.
happen along the stage. Like I said, we've got
You have
nearly
ups
30.
and flows, you have sorry,
got
ebbs
nearly-
and flows.
ebbs and
Collectively, we've
Nice.
nearly got, what, 30 years nearly?
We have well over that.
Well
because
over,
I'm
yeah.
already over
You're at
15 as
15,
a youth.
15.
Okay, so, yeah.
It's a lot, we're old.
So, like, there's definitely phases that you will
Yeah.
go through,
Yeah.
for sure, and we can give you advice on that.
And then like we said like earlier on, the more you learn, the more you realize there's so much more to
Yes,
learn.
yeah.
Yep, Maslow's hierarchy, people.
It
Is
just
that what
like
it is?
it keeps going. It keeps going. Like
Yeah.
we've all been doing this for so long, and we're
Still
having
And we're
light
still
bulb
new.
moments. We're still
Still
like
new.
Like, we're still new to it.
you'll always be.
Yeah.
There's always space to grow. There's
Yeah.
always people to learn from. And then if you ever reach the top, look, 5 years time there'll be like a new couple or like that are doing something different, something new that you've never
Yep.
seen before. More people to learn from. It's
Yep.
gonna keep shifting. There will always be stuff to learn.
Yes.
Which can be daunting, but I think that's like one of the most amazing
Exciting,
things about it.
yeah.
It's so exciting. There's always something to learn, which is
Yeah.
great.
So again, this is our opinion on a few things, and this is like something, again, our experiences we're talking from. There's
No, this
obviously
was
gonna be a
all
lot of
factual.
experiences.
This was all 100%.
Absolute.
Yeah.
You should be
Anything other than this is
functioning
wrong.
under this advice. And
Yeah.
if you don't, I don't think you're going to progress any further.
Yeah.
We are being sarcastic in case you can't tell.
Disclaimer.
So to all you newbies out there, stay inspired, push through,
Yeah,
and have fun along the way.
absolutely.
That's all I can say.
That's the biggest part. Just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Enjoy the journey.
You got to
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Connect with the people that inspire you,
Yeah.
learn from them, grow, enjoy it. But yeah, if you guys have any experiences that you want to share with us, comment them in the comments below. Like, share if you think someone can get something from this. Would love your feedback. Would love you guys to email us at MackZaddy. As soon as I said email us, I was
You
like,
got it,
You got
oh,
it. You got it. You got it.
shit.
Got
Wait,
it. Take two.
ready?
Take two.
Okay.
And
We would we would love for you to email us at MackZaddy@MikeMagic.live.
that's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Really
That
good.
felt
it.
easy to say that time.
Now say it.
Magic. We will get this.
One day this is gonna roll right off the
What have we
tongue.
done to ourselves?
Yeah. MackZaddy@MikeMagic.live.
Yeah.
If you
nice.
guys want to message us on there, email us anything, we will look at these and hopefully tend to your every need.
Oh wow. Maybe
Maybe
some
not
of them.
all of
Maybe
them.
Zach will tend to all of your needs.
Zach will tend to your every
Maybe not.
need. Maddie and I will not.
Oh god. Well, it's been fun, guys.
Cheers,
It's been so
Cheers.
Thank
fun.
you.
Cheers.